How's it going?
Good. Very good. I'm excited to be here.
Hell yeah, the soundtrack sounded great.
Thank you.
How long have you been playing with Jason?
What's time?
It's
Okay.
a human concert.
All
We're talking
right.
artist, Pedro.
I know. I'm
Jesus.
like, I couldn't tell
Sorry.
you what day it was yesterday.
What
Well,
I
we
meant to say was,
we met in Be Love.
Yes.
oh, okay. You play with B-Love as well then?
I did, yeah, in like the first iteration of Be Love, for the first like couple years of Be Love's existence. I was the lead singer, and then I moved back home down to Aurora, and so just the back and forth between Boulder and Aurora was kind of hard to manage with work and everything.
That is a long drive.
Yeah, I was doing it pretty regular.
Huh. So B-Love is a band in the local scene. How long has it been around? I feel like it's at least before COVID, right?
You were
Yeah.
playing with them
Yeah.
before.
Yeah,
the
we
pandemic.
started in 20.
This is before my time.
Yeah.
Before I joined.
Which one did you join?
I joined during the pandemic because that was my whole like.
Oh,
I want
yeah.
to, my reconnection with music.
With music.
you
Okay.
know.
So yeah, I want to say it was like around 2019, 2018. I'm horrible with time, obviously.
No, I get it. I
Years
totally
before.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I want to say 2018 actually. And had kind of evolved with a lot of members, but there were like 4 or 5 core members of the band. So Jason actually joined after I had left, but there was like a little bit of overlap, just like a tiny bit. So we did a few events together here and there with Be Love.
Cool.
Yeah.
And it's still around.
Yeah.
I think they're angling toward. Well, I'm still a member of the band on saxophone, but I think we're angling toward more of like a song and dance group, corporate events, weddings, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah,
are
yeah.
some.
A real big,
Big
fat
value.
entertainment band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really fun though.
It's like 8 or 9 people the size of this band now.
Yeah.
It's getting big.
I
It's a
feel
big
like
party
it
band.
keeps getting bigger every time
Yeah.
I see a Beatle. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
who's the new member?
Right.
yeah. Like try to be maximalist with it.
Maximalism.
But it's fun. I like playing in B-Love. It's kept me
Yeah,
around
no, I've had
as a saxophone player.
I've done sound for Beatle, and I've definitely jammed with him before. I don't think formally in B-Love, but it's a lot of fun to be around that energy. I think it's a really good energy. But that's awesome. Do you also have solo stuff that you make, or?
Not yet. I have a lot of features with different groups. A lot of the ones that people can find on streaming services are going to be like mostly EDM. So I'm excited to open that up a little bit with the music that I'm doing with Jason and the build out. But yeah, I don't have any solo stuff that's recorded and available for people yet, but it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
On some other stuff as well as Continental Sailor,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
is coming
she's-
out soon. You're on there.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna be. Yeah, she's the. I don't want to call you like the backup vocalist. You're the harmonist.
I like harmonist.
Yeah,
Let's
you're
go
the
with
harmony
that.
vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vocal 2.
Harmonist. I
She's
feel
got
like
a great alto range.
Thank
she
you,
can sing
thank
them low
you.
notes.
And them high notes
And them high
sometimes,
notes,
if
too,
I
yeah.
believe.
Mhm.
alto is great. It's the saxophone that you don't play, unfortunately.
Right.
I came up playing alto sax, but
Is that
tenor
right?
sax is the one now. Yeah.
I feel like that's
we
the
got
one
five-
everyone
5
starts on.
minutes until showtime.
Well,
Yeah. You want to talk more about the album and your involvement in it, your opinions of it,
Yeah.
and make it sound really good, make me sound really good, because of course you love the project so much.
I love this
I
project.
owe you some money too. I realize that. So
That's okay.
That's
Well, I'll start there actually. I just want to say that my experience working with Jason, I feel like, has been really fulfilling, because I realized, and I was actually just telling this to David across the room, was that I think when we first worked together, I got a very like no nonsense attitude from you, and not in like a brash or mean way, but in just like a sincere way. Like what you were saying you meant, and you kind of showed up in the way that you said you were going to. And have been really consistent in that. So I'm very grateful for that, because it makes it so much easier to be collaborative in the process of the album.
Yes.
And I feel like also a point that my partner David made was like the difference between the demo versions of your songs, which is what y'all were talking about earlier, and hearing the music live is pretty drastic. So I feel like what the Continental Sailor album, that recorded album, will really bring some of these things to justice, like really, really show the power of these songs. And I think having something like a harmony vocalist to work with can just allow more life to be breathed into these songs. And so I'm really grateful that he trusted me with that role.
Yeah. Yeah, and I trust is a good word, right?
Yeah.
Because I felt like having a harmony vocalist there that wasn't, just a higher version of me, plugging in, which would have sounded okay, but Radiance's voice is very distinct and well dialed in, well trained. She's been singing since she was a kid, and doing a lot of choir stuff, and she's really used to singing in big vocal textures. So all that to say, it felt like I had another color in my color palette. You know what I mean? Another brush to paint with. Yeah, and it's just it's added a whole layer of a whole new dimension to it. Just that single layer, and like I use the term like beefing up, but not really beefing up, but just like adding something that like obviously wasn't there before, but it needed
depth,
to be there.
perhaps.
Yeah,
Something
fleshed
that
it
was
out.
missing. Yeah.
For sure.
That's awesome. I'm excited to hear
It's been a
that.
great collaboration.
Yeah,
And everybody we talked to is like, your voices blend so well. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, great, glad they hear it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
like we knew, but
if a pair of people can be talented together, I feel like that's our talent, because somehow we just magically found that our voices work pretty well.
Yeah, and I think too, something that we haven't necessarily gotten to work a lot on, but I think something that also kind of just connects us is that we're both really into writing.
Yeah.
And so like really, really can
Writing
poetry.
right.
Yeah. Both poets and have studied writing. And so I feel like for both of us, because that is like an anchor for us, we also are thinking more about like how we breathe life into certain phrases and things like that. I feel like it just allows for us to connect on another level when it comes to the process.
It's a different perspective on it, for sure. Yeah.
And we
You guys both speak very eloquently, by the way. It's such a
poets.
pleasure.
Right,
we should. We
better.
We can get a little chaotic too. That's absolutely my favorite kind of
what else is writing
interaction.
but chaos sorted out?
There you go.
Well said.
There you go. So, do you have a favorite song on Continental Sailor?
That's
I don't know the
hard.
answer to this one.
That's a hard
We
one.
keep checking on the show times.
Only because, well, for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that there's some songs that we recorded together on Continental Sailor that we don't usually perform together. So that's just like new and exciting to be able to do that. So I'm like kind of feeling like the one who left because I feel like we really got to flesh that out a ton.
Oh yeah.
But it's also just like new, and so maybe that's a part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one who left is one of my favorites, and then I feel like all the sad ones. All the sad ones I love so much.
I write some
I
really
love
sad
sad music
stuff
for the
Yeah.
record. Yeah.
And I think something about harmonies in sad music is like more powerful. I don't know why.
Twist the knife, man.
Yeah, it's like you feel it more, and so yeah, I would say the one who left, Kelly Come Closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with those two. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna list them all.
The pretty, she's mentioning the pretty textural ones. We have Kelly Come Closer. I think will stand out because it's kind of like contrapuntal. There's counterpoint vocal parts written into it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
She's up in the mix right next to my voice. So
are we gonna get to hear that tonight?
Yeah, we'll sing that one tonight.
Hell yeah.
One who left. I also want to mention, she wrote the parts. She wrote the harmony parts. Usually, I have an idea of what I think the song needs. I usually defer to like a major third above or a minor third above, whatever. But she came in and she like shedded the tunes from some recordings, the bounces that we were working on in the studio. Bounces like the sample, just where a song is at that particular moment.
Sure.
Yeah, and so she was writing her parts and practicing.
Nice job clarifying jargon.
Yeah, I mean,
people love
it. It's the industry stuff.
No, I'm super guilty of it constantly. So yeah.
But I wanted to say she came in with her parts and like all our parts need a little tweaking. You know what I mean? So it was so good that she came up with these parts, and the part that she came up with was like another one of those things that I didn't know it needed, you know, and it's got this fresh, I think it sounds fresher because the harmony parts aren't coming from my mind. They came out of your mind. So it feels like a true collaboration, that harmony is what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's something as a musician who's being brought into somebody else's project, that's something that I try to be mindful of. Like I don't want to overstep or put in my 2 cents where it's not warranted. And I feel like you always gave me the space. It took me a while to have the confidence to step into that, but you always gave me the space to like flesh things out how I wanted and pitch ideas that I had, even if I was like a scared little mouse, like I don't know.
That's tremendous.
So yeah, I was really grateful for that as well.
And how long have you been in Jason Brandon build out?
Oh yeah, you asked me that to start, didn't you?
I'm not sure, but I don't remember hearing the answer.
Our drummers
I'm like,
over
oh
here.
yeah.
Oh, good.
I want to say 4 years. I'm really so bad with time. I'm like, don't quote
That's
me.
right. You were on the first show ever that we had
I
together.
was.
Yeah.
So, is
So
that
this was
4
post
years?
EP.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, post
Post
EP.
EP.
In
That
the chronology.
The first show was October 2021. We did a pandemic era show in my
Crazy.
backyard, socially distanced.
No.
Had about 40 people. It was like a little block party.
It was fun.
It was dope.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been that long.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long.